Wednesday, July 7th, and live from the RSV Media Center in Belize City. Welcome to the midweek edition of Love TV's Evening News. I am Patrick Jones.
And good evening, I am Anju Gidwani. We have a full rundown for you of tonight's newscast, and we'll start with a check of the stories that are making headlines today.
Overturned cargo truck snarls traffic on the Hummingbird Highway.
Indicators point to economic recovery for Belize.
And the opposition People's United Party speaks out on the violation of the rights of two minors by the police department.
Details of these stories and more are coming up on the broadcast tonight. But first, here is a word from our sponsors.
The Hummingbird Highway, with its twists and turns and steep inclines, is an important roadway in the country's vast network. And today, movement to the south was interrupted for hours when a big rig tipped over. Love TV's Avadias Sosa and cameraman Miles Gillett went to the area this morning and bring you the following report.
The smooth flow of traffic on the Hummingbird Highway was interrupted following a traffic mishap. Sometime around 9 o'clock last night, an 18-wheeler truck transporting beer, soft drinks, and juices overturned between miles 28 and 29. Love News spoke with CEO in the Ministry of Works, Cadet Henderson, who was on the scene last night.
This was the scene I saw when I arrived. You could see at the front of the trailer, this was all Bellikin bottles, all Bellikin beer. Seemingly the entire container was filled with beer, soft drink, and juice, bottled juices. This shot shows us attempting to use this excavator to pull the trailer, and it was inadequate, so we used a loader as well. In the foreground here you could see some of our staff, Minister Melvin Hulse, and some Mennonites that were donating their time because they had trailers and other trucks that were in the queue. It was a long queue on both sides. Here, the excavator getting into position. When we attempted to pull it, the cab actually shifted, but the driver was present and we'd make sure every move was to his approval. My position was that we must allow access, if at least for small vehicles, immediately. The owner was all the way in PG and was traveling to the site, but did not arrive up to when we left at 2:30. Here you see the Ministry of Works loader. We had a very heavy cable that it moved until it began to damage the pavement. Then we stopped and we excavated around on the embankment to create an access road that would have allowed. Here is the same native material, good gravelly marl, gravelly clay that was used to create the path. And at this point now, most vehicles that were in the queue were able to pass, except some of the very big articulated tandem.
When we arrived on the scene earlier today, crews were hard at work trying to clear up the area, transferring products from the overturned container. We were told there was roughly 2,000 cases of drinks packed in the truck which was headed to Punta Gorda for Johnson's distributors. Ministry of Works personnel were busy directing as traffic lined up on both sides awaiting their turn to continue their journey. Ministry of Works Zone Supervisor Derek Kayas told Love News they have been busy ensuring that traffic flows as best as possible in the area.
We came out here about 9 o'clock or thereafter, and when we reached here the truck was perpendicular to the highway. There was absolutely no crossing at all. The road was completely blocked, and since then we've been working on providing a means of diversion to facilitate small vehicles to get across. And it's been a bit complicated because of the terrain, but we managed to get some assistance, and we pulled the container to the side a bit and got the access going.
We have been unable to get any official information as to what might have caused last night's incident. Reporting for Love News, I'm Avadias Sosa.
The Statistical Institute of Belize today announced that Belize's economy is on the rebound following the global economic meltdown. According to a bulletin issued today, the institute is of the view that Belize's economic performance for the first 3 months of the year showed a 3.5% recovery when compared to the same period in 2009. According to SIB, this performance restores the country's level of economic activity to where it was in the first half of last year. The official release notes that the increase in economic activity was driven by the manufacturing, mining, and government sectors. Manufacturing and mining grew by 9.8%, and this is attributed to a 21.2% hike in crude petroleum production. Government services expanded by 7.1%, and tourism showed a 9.3% rise in the hotels and restaurant sectors. The agriculture sector grew by 3.2%, largely as a result of increases in citrus and banana production. Sugarcane production decreased by 12.6%, brought on by delays in the commissioning of the Belcogen power plant. The construction sector expanded by 5.7%, continuing its upward trend for a third consecutive year. The institute notes that the only sector to record a decline in performance was fishing, which fell by 25% to its lowest level since the last quarter of 2008.
Counterfeit currency notes have surfaced in the Cayo district. Yesterday, police conducted a search on one Kareem Grant, a resident of Belize City, who was standing in front of Tyson store on Burns Avenue in San Ignacio town. Police found a plastic bag containing two $100 notes and one $50 note identified as counterfeit. Grant and another man identified as Robert Young, also of Belize City, were arrested and charged for the possession of counterfeit currency. But while at the police station, Grant was identified by George DeCassi, the owner of South Indian restaurant in San Ignacio town. DeCassi told police that Grant, who was accompanied by another male person, paid for two Belikin bears with a counterfeit $50 bill with serial number DE277964 and was given 44 Belize dollars in change. Shortly after, he realized the money was fake. In a second report, also made yesterday in the Cayo district, Sarita Sib reported that on the same morning, a woman purchased a bottle of coconut oil at her stall in the Savannah area market. She paid with a $50 note and was given change of $36. She later realized the money was not genuine. In a third incident, 33-year-old Sean Gardiner of San Ignacio town was at the San Ignacio police station when she dropped two $100 notes with serial numbers BD008497 and two $50 notes bearing serial number DC985445 and DE277964. Police arrested and charged Sean Gardiner for the possession of counterfeit currency.
The game between Belize and Cuba at the Central Basket Tournament in the Dominican Republic has been postponed. Love FM's Terry Gordon shared the information earlier today.
A decision has been made. The team will not be playing today's game. Earlier we were talking about the fact that Team Belize was scheduled to play Cuba today. There has been some problems on the court ever since the start of the competition. The designated spokesperson for the Basketball Federation of Belize is Mr. Charles Ellis. Mr. Ellis, you were in the meeting just now that involved the management of the different countries participating, and Mr. Hannibal Garcia, the technical director of FIBA Americas, are responsible for the tournament.
Yes, the organizers have decided to cancel today's game because of the slippery situation with the basketball court. A lot of players were risking injury, and it was very terrible. It was like a skating ring out territory. And the organizers have decided that once the AC isn't fixed, no game shall be played on the court. So they have decided to cancel the rest of today's game and play tomorrow at the same time. So the schedule will be pushed back a day.
Team Belize is scheduled to see action against Cuba at 4 o'clock tomorrow evening. The game will be carried live on Love FM and Love Television.
After the break, the opposition speaks out against the abuse of minors in police custody, and the Queen goes to the Big Apple to address world issues. Love TV's Evening News will continue after these messages.